Alrighty. Good evening. It is January 15th, 2026, XRP Market Update. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Last time we went live, I had my notifications that were dinging every time somebody subscribed to the channel. And so I want to make sure that that does not happen again. So we're going to double check our notifications. Uh-oh. I'm already hearing dinging. Mute event sounds. My sounds are muted. Oh, wow. There's a big ding. How do I mute this? I'm sorry, chat. Chat, give me 1 second here. I'm trying to figure out how to stop these notifications. And yeah, it's crazy. Just making sure that we're not dinging the whole live show here tonight. Give me 1 second, chat. Notifications. Enable sound. Sound's off. Yeah, I don't know why the chat's being... why we're dinging. Ask Gemini. You're all good. Okay, let's roll. Hey, XRP Market Update. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. My apologies for running behind here tonight. Any of you guys with children know how it goes. Had to get the children washed up, bathed up, and helping out my wife there. You know, we're right there at the finish line. She's 8 months pregnant, getting ready to deliver our next baby boy. And I did have a proud dad moment before we went live here tonight. I was playing basketball. Just last week, we picked up a little Nerf hoop, one of those tiny little Nerf hoops, right? Boy, I used to have some intense Nerf basketball games in my parents' house back in the day. But anyways, I was playing with my daughter, and I was finally getting her to get some shots up because she just wanted to play one-on-one with me this, last few times that we've been playing. And all she would do was, try to get by me so that she could go dunk. And I was trying to get her to, let's get some shots up here, okay? I appreciate it, blowing by me to go get your dunk in. But let's work on some fundamentals here. Get a shot up. And so tonight, we were getting some shots up. She was hitting her rhythm. She hit 6 jumpers in a row, and I was very proud of her. I was working, getting her to call for ball, hands up, boom, shot, ding, hit it. It was a proud dad moment. I'm having fun. I've stepped away from sports. I haven't been paying attention to any sports in the past decade, basically, since I stopped playing ball. And so it's fun for me to get back into it with my children. And so just feeling so blessed, chat. Thank you for stopping by here tonight. We're going to run up this live show. Quick update, and then I want to get to you guys' rapid fire Q&A. Market is, really wearing people thin. And so what we're going to do here tonight is explain why you should still be very excited about this cryptocurrency opportunity. Why you should still be focused on tremendous upside on these investments that we've made. We are not going anywhere, but I do see some people capitulating and leaving and giving up on digital assets at a time when I think that you should be paying attention. Right? I'm not here to give anybody financial advice, but I am here to explain why I'm still bullish, why I'm still buying, what assets I am buying, and why I'm making moves on those positions. So we're going to run it up here tonight. I wouldn't be able to do it without your support. So I do appreciate you guys for liking the stream, sharing it out far and wide. All of our community resources are available at zachrector.com. And let's get this party started. Russell 2000 expansion, that is what we wanted to see. And we got it. Absolutely love to see it. And in fact, real quick, I need to make sure that I got my sources pulled here. We don't got it pulled. Let's pull our sources. There it is. Make sure that we're ready to rock and roll for tonight. All sources pulled. Check, check, check. My apologies. Russell 2000 up to brand new all-time highs. And this is the expansion that we talked about earlier in today's update. If you take a look at it, Empire Manufacturing Survey came in at 7.7. Expectation was 1. The last print in December was negative 3.7. Move on over to the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Survey. The December reading was negative 8.8. The expectation was negative 1. And we just got a print for January at 12.6. The Empire State Manufacturing Survey, along with the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Survey, are leading indicators of what we're going to see on that ISM PMI, Purchasing Managers Index. We've talked about the correlation between that index and crypto. It's so dialed in, and you need to be paying attention to it, because as this business cycle expands and the liquidity cycle opens back up, that's what we're waiting for in our digital assets. So we're going to get that going here tonight as we break it down for you. Taking a look here at XRP to start off tonight's show. XRP trading at $2.07. And not much happening here on the XRP price chart, right? Came back down yesterday. And what we're looking for is that run up to that 236 fib, which is at $2.27. And then I'm expecting a rollover. Maybe a double top coming in at 242 and then a rollover. Maybe that was it, and 220 was the upside move here, and we're about to roll over. But I am prepared for this market to pull back. Clarity Act, never thought it was going to pass in January. Iran strikes, knew it was on the table. And we're going to see if that ends up actually happening. I think that President Trump doesn't want to pull the trigger on that one yet, but obviously showing some strength. We're seeing some troop movement, some military movement. We're watching it, and we continue to pray for peace. Government shutdown at the end of this month, preparing for it. How am I preparing for it? A massive buy order on my XRP long, okay? And so if you guys want to get tapped in on all of my moves that I'm making in real time, join our Patreon, sign up through Patreon to get access to our Discord group. In our trading channel, that's where I share what I'm doing in real time. Not to send you the signal, not to give you financial advice, but just to say, hey, pay attention here. Take a look over there. We got a runner right there, right? And this is how our community has made so much money in the past year, despite XRP not going to our targets that we wanted. You run through the list of projects that we just nailed it on, whether it be Zebek, Stronghold, SHX, DAI, whether it be other XRP meme coins that we made money on, whether it be other assets that we traded, right? And even on this XRP long, we've still been making money on that one despite it going down. How is that possible? Because we time it right. We're dialed in. And we're going to continue to stay dialed in here and focused on providing the best analysis when it comes to digital assets in the marketplace. You're seeing a lot of capitulation. You're seeing a lot of people leaving, a lot of frustration. For us, I'm just as excited as I could ever be. The fundamentals remain strong, and we are so over the target when it comes to analyzing these markets, when it comes to finding momentum. And what we learned over the last year, 2025, was how to take profit. I didn't take profit in 2021. I watched all my bags run up and all of them come back down. The only asset that I think I took profit on back in 2021 was XLM. I traded all of my XLM into a big bag of XRP. God bless it. We were able to stack up a big bag of XRP off of XLM. Stellar. But what's so important to understand here is that our strategy and my portfolio is not just XRP. There are a few other assets that we take a look at. And then we also take a look at the movement of this market overall, whether it be going up, whether it be going back down. We want to make sure that we're hedging our bets. And so I talked about why I went into Canton Network, CC. Same reason why sometimes I short Bitcoin. When I think that this market's going to pull back, I don't like to short XRP. That's blasphemy to me. So I go short Bitcoin. Right? But we found ways to make money in this market while we hold our fundamental positions and just let them ride. Okay, that's a great spot to be in, especially considering what happened over the past 12 months. Now, as we get going here, I want to show you guys here, President Trump expected to announce an emergency power auction that would force technology giants to pay for the new power plants. Now, this initiative is expected to construct $15 billion worth of new power plants. PJM, the nation's largest grid operator, will be leading the initiative with Trump. As we have stated before, this year will be largely about affordability ahead of the midterm elections. As I've been saying, they're going to juice this thing like never before. They know what's at stake. They're going to get rid of Jerome Powell. He's gone in May, maybe sooner. We're watching that drama play out with the Fed. He's gone in May, for sure. President Trump gets to pick the new Fed chair. Now, I want to audit the Fed. I want to get rid of the Fed. But in the meantime, we understand who we're working with. And who we're working with has been working against the American people. And that would be Jerome Powell and the governors currently serving at the Federal Reserve. They did the fastest rug pull in history by raising rates at the fastest pace. Then they kept rates elevated and did not pull back down, even though it was justified. And now Jerome Powell is going to stick it to us here in January. They're not going to cut rates. So we're also expecting that. I want to silence these notifications and I'm not sure how to. So my apologies. Hopefully I'll figure this out here while we're flying. The point being, with this news of President Trump announcing $15 billion worth of new power plants, is get in front of the transfer of wealth. Get on the AI play. Get on the cryptocurrency play. Get to where the money is flowing. Okay? There's a lot of people that are going to get left behind in this transfer of wealth. We don't want you to be on that end of the continuum, which is going to see a lot of people left behind. A lot of people losing the wealth that they had, whether that be in real estate, their 401ks in the stock market. The stock market's at all-time highs, right? So a lot of people have made a lot of money over there, and they're not ready to give it up. But what we see is a correction, a reset in real estate, and digital assets like XRP far below their fundamental value. And we're seeing precious metals, assets like that, moving towards their fundamental value. We've captured that. We've captured the move on precious metals. We've captured the move on digital assets, and there's a lot more to come on digital assets. Digital assets have put people to sleep, have made people too frustrated, and so they've left digital assets at a time when they should be moving in. And people are literally saying, I'm giving up on crypto to go to the stock market. The stock market that's at all-time high right now. I think it's a fatal mistake for your portfolio, but that's just me giving my opinion. That's not me giving financial advice. But what we can see right here is President Trump is going to continue this transfer of wealth. And whether you like Trump or don't like Trump, I want you to win. That's what's most important. Okay. If you can find a way, even if you don't like Trump, and by the way, I'm frustrated right now, just like many Americans are. I'm frustrated. I want this process to be moving along faster. Okay. But in the meantime here, I also take a step back and position myself accordingly, whether it be with my businesses, whether it be with my investments. We've been preparing for this moment, and now we're going to jump on it, right? And this is incredible. With the Clarity Act going to get passed here this year, digital assets are set and primed to run with the business cycle and liquidity cycle opening back up. And as usual, people get distracted by the news. Clarity Act's delayed. Nothing's going to happen. I read all of the comments today on my YouTube video. Nothing's going to happen with XRP. Clarity Act's not going to get passed this year. Okay. We've been explaining how we are still going to see these assets move whether or not the Clarity Act happens. Remember, digital assets is bigger than just America. Digital assets is worldwide. Okay. And so we've already seen XRP and other digital assets appreciate significantly without clarity, right? Without market structure here in the US. We will see that once again. And a lot of people are going to get left behind thinking that they can wait till Clarity Act passes to then move on digital assets. That's not going to be us. But here's the scoop here from Eleanor Terra on the Clarity Act. Nearly 24 hours after the banking GOP markup was pulled, industry players, lawmakers, and staffers have had time to digest what happened and what comes next. Though many are still upset at the way things went down yesterday, consensus among some industry and banking committee staff I've caught up with seems to be that all is not lost and that if a deal on yield can be reached between the relevant parties, i.e. banks, Coinbase, and the Democrats, in the coming days, then the bill is likely to get off life support. You have to understand, guys, there's really not that many issues. There's just a few pinch points that are holding up this bill, right? The tokenized securities issue, aka Section 505, which contains a study and a possible notice and comment rulemaking by the SEC and CFTC, appears to be a non-issue for two reasons. First, tokenization firms are now suggesting the language Coinbase took issue with was taken out of context. Second, some stakeholders, including Brian Armstrong, say they are hopeful that significant changes or a full removal of the section are on the table. Ethics issues remain the same as they were yesterday, and discussions between the White House and Senate are said to be ongoing. Finally, there are questions about whether banking moving their markup will affect the Senate EGG's timeline. Sources close to the process say the order doesn't necessarily matter, and that if EGG can lock in a successful bipartisan deal, it could make the process in Senate banking smoother. This actually happened in the House last summer when Housing Agricultural Committee passed its portion of the Clarity Act with a strong bipartisan vote of 47-6, giving encouragement to House Financial Services members who marked up the bill right afterward, even though they didn't get as nearly much Democrat support there. Now, not to get political, but I'm going to get myself in trouble. It blows me away that the Democrats want to let Elizabeth Warren and Ed Markey and some of these dinosaurs represent them when it comes to this issue, amongst many other issues as well, too. Blows me away. Now, just to prove that I'm not here to get too political, I also think it's ridiculous some of the rhinos that we have on the right side. I am equally dissatisfied with the left and the right in DC. I despise DC. It is disgusting what is taking place over there. We call it the DC dance for a reason. We call it the bureaucracy beast for a reason. All these pro-crypto Congress members that got elected with crypto money. Accountability is coming. We're watching all of you. And it's time for all of them to be put on notice. The American people are fed up, and rightfully so. See, in the spirit of free market capitalism, who is to say that a digital asset provider can't provide yield to somebody for holding an asset? A bank can provide yield or interest to somebody for holding an asset, but a digital asset provider can't? It's terrible. The hypocrisy is disgusting. Now, I appreciate Brad Garlinghouse and some of the others who are suggesting, hey, we have the bill here. Let's go through the markup process, and hopefully we'll be able to work through this. See, what I want to see is get these folks on the record. I want to see Elizabeth Warren come on out and explain why she's against this. Somebody who champions the little guy and gal. Somebody who champions being against the banks. What a joke. I want to get them on the record. I want to get all these people on the record. Why do you oppose this? Because in the spirit of free market capitalism, this is the absolute opposite of what made this country great. Allowing businesses and service providers to provide value how they see fit and let the marketplace decide. If the bank isn't giving you crap on your money, well, that's the bank problem. And I think that they can handle that. I think that they can afford giving us a few hundred basis points on our money versus the, 20, 50 basis points that they give you for a savings account. It's offensive. And they've been able to get away with it because they control our monetary policy all the way up the pyramid scheme to the Federal Reserve. And so while I agree with some of the pushback from Brian Armstrong and Coinbase, I get it. In the same regard, I also think that we need to push forward, get these senators and politicians on the record so we can figure out who the hell we need to get rid of, which is a lot of them. A lot of them. Even some of the pro-crypto Congress members that we elected, we need to pull that back. And so I want to see us continue to move forward, continue to apply pressure. The good news is that we are moving forward, right? This is no longer just something that we're talking about and speculating about. We are moving forward. Should have been done already, but at least we are moving in the right direction. Brad Garlinghouse making comments in St. Moritz here today. Quote, Brian Armstrong and the Coinbase team have raised, fair concerns. I was surprised how vehemently they came out and said, look, we can't support this. The rest of the industry really is still leaning in and supporting it, and I think constructively trying to work through. So that's the difference. As Brian Armstrong says, nope, can't move forward on this. Brad Garlinghouse and some others, many others, are suggesting let's push forward, use the markup process to have these debates, make these amendments, and fix this bill. And I just remain hopeful as an American that we can get this done this year, because I am so concerned about this country. If we can't get this passed, we allow other countries to move forward without us. We stifle innovation in this country. And at the end of the day, we hurt the poor and the middle class of this country the most. That's the sad part. We hurt the poor and middle class of this country the most by doing this. And so we got to get it done. And you have Elizabeth, I got a plan for you, Warren, and others standing in the way. It's disgraceful. Now let's get into some good news. This is Tats, ecosystem growth at Ripple. I hit 1 year working at Ripple this week, 5th year working in crypto full time. As someone that dedicates all of my working hours to planting seeds and shaping the future of the XRP ecosystem, I am happy to see this major unlock for everyone in the XRP ecosystem. Ashish Birla and the Evernorth team are powerhouses, and they will be a major bridge to enable mass adoption. The future of digital asset treasury companies are going to be actively building out utility, liquidity, and trust for XRP. I envision more companies that follow this model and begin building their own ecosystems in their own verticals powered by XRP. This is how we achieve Internet of Value. Just want to say cheers and thank you to everyone. It's been an amazing year of growth in 2025, working with everyone in the ecosystem, and I am excited to see what we will all accomplish in 2026. I'm here to support you all. Let's do this. And so we're going to play this clip right here. Ashish Birla on NASDAQ here today, the CEO of Evernorth. And I want to play this clip so everybody can see why we remain so bullish. So bullish on XRP, and now the leading digital asset treasury company for XRP, Evernorth. Let's take a listen in.
CEO of Evernorth. Ashish, thank you so much for joining. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So we have a lot of exciting news to celebrate. Evernorth is gearing up for a Q1 2026 IPO. How is this shaping your strategy to getting institutions on board and the digital asset space overall?
Yeah, thanks, Christina. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. I've been in blockchain since 2013, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. We have the right kind of regulation, we have the right kind of administration, and institutions are ready to adopt. And Evernorth provides an easy way for institutions in the public markets to gain exposure to XRP, the digital asset underpinning Evernorth's digital asset treasury.
So it sounds like the shift that we're in really opens up interesting opportunities. What are some of the core strengths that Evernorth has that attracts public investors?
Yeah, so if you think about how you get access to exposure in digital assets prior to Evernorth, is that you would have to go and custody digital assets on your own. You would have to worry about compliance. You'd have to worry about security. And hey, a subset of users and institutions are okay with that, but a large lion's share just want to buy a public stock. So we made it as easy as buying a public stock, and we'll figure that stuff out for you. Use that and you can gain exposure to XRP, a digital asset, the third largest digital asset, today in the United States.
But there are still a lot of gaps in today's infrastructure. How are you positioned to solve this?
Yeah, so listen, there's a lot of regulatory, issues, there's compliance issues. There's the security issues that I mentioned.
Watch me go from
and then you have to, if you want to participate in all the interesting things happening on the blockchain ecosystem, you have to figure that out as well. Or you could just buy the XRPN stock, Evernorth stock, and we'll figure that stuff out for you. So we did a lot of that heavy lifting. We're experts. We've been building products. My team has been building products in blockchain since 2013. We're the right operational team to make this happen. We package all that up for you. You just buy the stock, XRPN, that's the Evernorth stock, and we'll take care of all that heavy lifting for you.
So going off of your point, XRP ETFs are making a big splash. What's your take on what comes next for regulated XRP products?
Yeah, so listen, there was a record-breaking last few weeks with XRP ETFs. Hey, that's great news. That shows that there's the demand from the public markets to gain exposure to XRP, a digital asset that is at the forefront of the financial revolution on blockchain. But there's more that we can do as well. And Evernorth is going to be actually participating and help develop that XRP ecosystem, help bring financial products to the blockchain. And by buying the XRPN stock, you get exposure to things beyond just the asset. We'll also be generating yield as well on the XRP asset, which we'll use to go and buy more of the digital asset for the treasury. So we'll be actively out there. We'll be stewards of the XRP ecosystem. We're excited as this is early innings, and we're excited to get going.
So it's safe to say this momentum is creating that ripple effect, no pun intended.
I've heard that one before. That's a good one.
So from your point of view, what do you think will distinguish the winners in digital asset treasuries?
Yeah, so I think that one, you have to have scale, and Evernorth, as of today, is by far the largest XRP digital asset treasury out there. And then I would say that the other thing is they can't be passive. They have to be active stewards of helping the XRP ecosystem flourish and develop. And that's where our core strengths lie. I was building products in blockchain for over a decade. I'm going to continue in helping the XRP ecosystem develop. And Evernorth will get to potentially participate in that and generate yield for the treasury as well. So we're excited. I think the leading digital asset treasuries are going to be the ones that are actively involved, not just sitting back and helping that XRP ecosystem flourish.
So from your point of view, you've been in this space for over a decade. What are the top 3 things that you would say to weary investors getting into tokenization or digital assets?
Yeah, so I would say, listen, the timing couldn't be better. You have the right kind of regulation. These products have been around for over a decade, so they're mature. They are having good reputations, and it's ripe for institutional adoption. And so the last piece is that was missing is there wasn't institutional adoption and institutional capital coming in. But products like Evernorth make it easy for institutions to now participate and adopt. So you got regulation, you got the products, and now you got institutional capital. I think timing is right to adopt blockchain for financial products.
The time is now, so get on it.
Absolutely.
Ashish, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me.
See, and I thought that I could find where I don't understand why my thing is still dinging notifications here. I've turned them off on Streamlabs, and it's incredibly frustrating. But anyways, I'm not going to let that throw me off. But boy, technology frustrates me sometimes. Ashish Burla with Evernorth. Guys, what you have to understand here is that what he explained right there is it allows somebody who wants to get exposure to XRP. One, you can just go buy the ETF now. That's a massive deal in and of itself. The second part of that is getting yield on your XRP. It's the same way that people that have Bitcoin who want to leverage their Bitcoin holdings will go buy MicroStrategy, right? It's a levered up bet. You juice it up by buying MicroStrategy. In the same fashion, XRP investors or people that want to get exposure here will buy the ETF or they'll buy spot XRP. But if they don't want to worry about figuring out yield or how to accumulate more XRP through yield, they can just go buy the ticker XRPN, which is for Evernorth. And this is massive. Now, we have been so late here, whether it be ETFs, whether it be DeFi, whether it be a legitimate stablecoin on the XRP ledger. But the difference here is that we're doing it right? Measure twice, cut once. That's what's happening on the XRP ledger. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. People are sleeping on XRP DeFi and how big this is going to expand, right? Evernorth gets to lever up these infrastructure plays, these DeFi plays, all of this build out on top of the XRP ledger, Evernorth is there, right? And so it's like Evernorth is a satellite company right next to Ripple that are both levering up and juicing utility, liquidity, and the build out on top of the XRP ledger. And I've been thoroughly impressed by what Ashish Birla has been laying out as far as their plan. Now we're going to watch them execute, and I'm very bullish on what they're going to do. One, as a company, I'm very excited to invest in their company. And two, what they're going to be doing on the XRP ledger, running infrastructure, helping fund new businesses, and really building out and expanding the ecosystem. So we put all this together, and we combine this with the fact that the XRP community remains as strong as ever. Despite the market being frustrated, a lot of people capitulating. When you look around the cryptocurrency space, and I've been in crypto since 2018, I remain impressed by how well our community is hanging in, despite everything taking place. We went through almost 5 years of a lawsuit. We were late on our ETFs because the SEC lawsuit went till August of 2025. Once we got ETFs, right, we set the record for day one volume of any ETF that was launched in 2025. So there's clear demand from institutions. And in the meantime, the retail investors in XRP2 are also holding, right? Now, even if you're done adding to your XRP bags and you're looking for other plays, you're still holding that XRP bag. You haven't given up. And we put all this together here as the business cycle is opening back up, the liquidity cycle is opening back up. I am so excited for what comes here over the next 12 months, in particular for XRP, because I think that we will outperform the rest of the market just like we did last year when XRP pumped 600%, and a lot of other cryptos only made it maybe 100%, maybe 200%. They didn't even get close to a new all-time high. XRP did. And so I wanted to reiterate that here tonight. I also wanted to let you guys know that there's a new Community Day event taking place February 11th. This is going to be hosted by Ripple X. Global event across 3 regional X spaces so anyone can join live. If you hold XRP or follow the ecosystem, this is the clearest look at where things stand today and what's taking shape in 2026. Agenda and speakers coming soon. Register now and add the event to your calendar. Absolutely love to see it. Okay. And they're going to be, I think, at ETH Denver. They're doing a satellite event here. Absolutely love to see it. Now, I want to get into our chat here in Q&A, and I'm just going to take a quick look at our charts here. Before we do, I see a couple super chats came in. Thank you for your support. We'll get to those right away. Before we get to the charts, I'm going to let you guys know about my sponsor, iTrust Capital. You guys know me. I hadn't had any sponsors until last year. And I finally took on a sponsor, iTrust Capital, because I thoroughly believe that folks need to be able to get access to cryptocurrency through their retirement funds. And this is a tremendous resource for doing so. iTrust Capital, I got them linked up down below, top of my description. When you use my link, you'll get a $100 funding bonus. And once again, they have the IRA product or the premium custody account as well. Free institutional grade custody, award-winning US-based support, low cost and no monthly fees. So it's all about getting connected with these platforms that are going to help you get exposure to these investments that are going to change your life. I can say right now that XRP has changed my life, and I know it's changed many of you guys' life as well. And what's interesting is that XRP has changed our lives here just by going to $2 and $3, let alone going to double digits, let alone going to numbers that I'm not going to talk about because we don't want to get too crazy tonight, do we? Double, triple, $1,000 XRP. Oh no, I said it. $3 XRP, $2 XRP, life-changing. And this party's just getting started. Now, what folks need to understand, as I explained in my update earlier today, though, is that you can be bearish or expect a pullback on the short-term time frame, while also being simultaneously very bullish on the outlook over the next 6 to 12 months. And that's exactly where I stand here today. I think that this crypto market is going to pull back. I'm expecting XRP to actually dip below $2 once again. I know people want to say that I said it was never going to go below $2 again. I made the mistake of making one tweet where I said, we'll never see XRP below $2 again. And it was literally just me being a cheerleader. It wasn't real analysis. I wasn't sharing technical analysis or anything else. You know, it was just me being a cheerleader, saying we'll never see it below $2, trying to speak it into existence, trying to manifest it. And people are still holding me to that. You said never below $2 again. Well, I'm expecting below $2 again. And maybe by me saying that, it won't go below $2. I'd be happy to be wrong. But we're watching XRP right now, and I explained these levels. We are respecting the fib levels on this chart so well. Take a look at it. XRP chart right here at 206. And we're watching this thing, right? Either we topped out right there on this short-term move at 219, fell short of 220, or we will end up seeing that move back up to 227, which I am waiting for. I will say this right now. I'll just tell you guys publicly because I don't want to gatekeep. There's a reason why I only share the alpha, though, in my Discord group, because they appreciate it. You know, I try to explain short-term time frames, long-term time frames, where I see it moving, and a lot of people just throw it back at me. Completely disrespectful. And so sometimes that can be frustrating. But the reason why I share these warnings is because I want you to win. I want you to know when this sucker's pulling back, more so than I want you to know when it's going up. We know it's going to go up, right? Over the long-term time frames, it's going to go up and to the right, dramatically, violently, faster than most people are prepared for. But I find that it's more valuable to be able to warn about the pullbacks when you have some money to invest in these assets. Maybe it's not even XRP, maybe it's something else. But you can buy when these pullbacks happen with conviction, staying calm, and laughing at what the market makers pull on us. During the 1010 liquidation event, I was sitting right here. My wife was over here. She was finishing up her school. She was getting ready for a test. Very proud of my wife. While she's been pregnant with baby number 3, she went and got her bachelor's degree in early elementary education, and she's going to homeschool our kids to start off the process with them. Very excited about that. Very proud of her. But she's getting ready for a test over here, 1010 liquidation event. I'm in here working on, and I was literally doing coin reviews. I'm doing fundamental research on the cryptocurrencies that we look at every day. Tokenomics, ETFs, fundamentals. And the market makers sacrifice this whole space. And I watch our net worth just plummeting. And I had an O face. My jaw did hit the floor. And I might have said a couple explicitives. But I also laughed because I just said, okay, this is what they're doing to us next. And I was able to save my long position. I was able to take the moment in. Yes, I might have had to change my drawers because it was a little rough. I might have had to change them. But when you get to this spot, you can't be defeated. You can't be defeated because you reverse psychology, right? You reverse engineer what the market makers are doing to us, and then you understand it, and then you can invest accordingly, and then you can be prepared. This is why I say it's more important to understand when the market's going down versus when it's going up. See, when we had a participation trophy economy, when we had a participation trophy bull market, it was easy. You bull post. I started making content in 2021 during the bull run. It was easy. Right? I remember it like it was yesterday. Sun was shining, XRP was pumping. I'd make a TikTok, green screen with the chart in the back. I'd have 50 Cent in the club, instrumental playing. What a vibe. And this sucker was pumping, but it fell short of $2. We got cut short. And I remember last year, end of 2024, into 2025, and even into summer, July 2025, when XRP topped out. It was easy to be bullish on XRP. It was easy to be putting out hopium. It's another thing to be sitting here today with that same level of excitement, right on the edge of your seat. And maybe you're not buying any more XRP, but you're still finding alpha. And we have been. And when I look across my portfolio, when I review some of the coins that you guys have invested in as well too, I see nothing but opportunity. Now, we all have a few crap coins in the bag. Sometimes you guys ask me to review crap coins, and you're disappointed when I tell you that it's a crap coin. But the one thing that you can always count on is for me to be honest and for me to show up. That's my guarantee to you. That we're always going to be honest, we're always going to shoot it straight, and we're always going to show up. And what I see right now on XRP in the broader crypto market is a test of your faith, of your conviction, and ultimately of your understanding of the fundamentals, of your understanding of the shift that's underway. A fourth industrial revolution, and you want to go back to stocks. I think that many people are going to miss this one. And I think even worse than that, there's a lot of people that were already in crypto that are going to up when you should have been doubling down. Just like I've been doing on some of my positions. You want to give me XRP under $2? Thank you very much. I'll be swooping that up. I have a massive buy order at $1.66. And the whole point, the reason why I started on this tangent was to say that I do have a sell order on my XRP long. Just shy of 230. Because when this sucker runs back up, like I expect it to, I'm going to take profit on it. Because I do believe that we're moving back down. The Clarity Act gets delayed, the government shuts down, we strike Iran, maybe, hopefully not, praying for peace. Supreme Court rules on Trump tariffs, right? And so I do have a sell order on my XRP long, which is a short-term position, a short-term trade, right? Please understand, I want to give you guys the full context so that you understand. All of my XRP that I hold is spot without leverage. Market goes up, market goes down. I sleep like a baby because on defense, I have my silver. On offense, I have my XRP. Some of the best performing assets over the past 12 months. We are destroying Wall Street. It's not even close. I sleep like a baby till my kids wake me up. Yesterday or last night, my daughter had a bad dream at 3 a.m. Woke me up. That's the only thing that keeps me up at night. Other than that, I sleep like a baby because I know we've invested properly. And with XRP, all of my holdings are without leverage. So it'll never be liquidated. It will never be touched unless I want to sell off a little portion, which I might do along the way. We'll see. Majority of my XRP I'm going to hold forever and will be passed down to those children that wake me up at night. But what I want folks to understand is that the XRP long that I'm in and some of the trades that I make are short term, not day trades, swing trading. I don't day trade. My strategy for trading is unorthodox, and I've explained this to my Discord group many times. But from time to time, I get so fed up with the crap that I'm seeing pushed out there in the public that I decide to just come on out and give you guys the alpha. The stuff that I typically reserve for my Discord group, I come on out and just share it. And I share a warning. And sometimes it's a thankless job because people respond with a clown emoji. And it blows me away. These same people wonder why they're struggling, why they're not winning in crypto. It's because you're responding with a clown emoji to when I'm showing you that a buying opportunity is showing up. Or hell, if you want to short it. And the reason why I do this is because I care so freaking much about helping as many people as possible win and take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. So with XRP, short term, I'm expecting below $2. The only question that I have is, are we going to see it run up to 227, set a double top at 240, and then roll over? Or did we already top out at 220? Here's the chart. Once again, was that it? That move on Wednesday, yesterday, up to 220, now we roll over? Or are we still going to be moving back up? 227 is the fib level here, and 241 would be the double top. I have a sell order on my XRP long up at 227. But people ask me, well, should I sell off some of my bag and buy it back? I don't do that, and I'm not going to give you financial advice, but I'm just going to explain why I don't do that. It's because I have memories of not being able to get my XRP back, of XRP being delisted. I don't trust these exchanges. It's like selling back your precious metals so that you can buy it back on the dip. We don't know if we're going to be able to get the physical. Same thing with XRP. Right? The reason why we hold the physical, as our good friend Lynette Zhang says, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Well, same thing with crypto. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Even if you have it at exchanges and your name is on it, if that exchange goes bust, you're about to find out, just like we did with FTX, just like we'll probably do again when some more exchanges go bust. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. So I don't play around with my silver. I don't play around with my XRP. If I want to play around, I go trade the futures. I'll go short Bitcoin. If I think that we need, are going back down, I will hedge with the Bitcoin short. I don't short XRP. That's blasphemy to me. I don't like it. It makes me feel dirty. It's a bad vibe. I don't like it. But I'll short the hell out of Bitcoin and have a good time doing it. I don't play around. I don't play around with these assets. I'm not worried about XRP being delisted, but I am worried about it moving faster than I can get back in. And that security is what allows us, right, to make offensive moves. Right? When we hold big bags of defensive measures that are outperforming the stock market by a factor of over 6x, when we hold assets like XRP that are outperforming the stock market by a factor of 10, and really those are just holdings, those are defensive. That allows us to go out and make other plays on offense with conviction. See, I started out by talking about playing basketball with my daughter and my children. My coaches taught me that the best offense is a great defense. Outperforming the stock market by 6-fold. XRP outperforming the stock market by 10-fold. So that allows us to go play in the futures. That allows us to go buy bags of Canton, Zebek, HBAR, other cryptocurrencies that could still see significant downside. They're very risky plays. Very risky plays. A lot of hype, right? But the reason why we can do that is because we hold it. We own it. Nobody's going to touch it unless they take it from our cold, dead hands. And so I say all of this to warn you guys of that pullback. Below $2 for XRP. Look at your other favorite altcoins. Be ready to buy those dips. If you have enough XRP, be looking at these other ones. Set your buy orders. I don't care what platform it is. Just make sure that you're connected with some good ones. My trifecta is I Trust Capital for the IRA retirement account. It's Caleb and Brown for big bags. And then it's Coinbase for the futures. That's my trifecta. Those are the platforms that I use. And all I want to say is that understand what limitations and capabilities you have with each platform that you use. And give yourself some options, because I never put all of my holdings in one place. Okay? Cold wallet recommendations, go to my website. Let's go rapid fire Q&A. I appreciate everybody for stopping by here tonight. Thank you, and God bless you all. Bro Lando, Bitcoin had a significant pump in the past 2 days. Why didn't we see the same pump in other altcoins like the main utilities, XRP? Yeah, you did. I mean, you had a run up to 220 for XRP from 204. Other altcoins lagged, but right now the market's scared. And so there's a flight to Bitcoin. People are scared to go into the altcoins. XRP still did have a run up, and a lot of other altcoins did have a run up as well too. This market's scared. Right? A lot of people fly by night investors. They don't have fundamental understanding. They don't have conviction in the assets that they've placed bets in. And, that's prevalent. It's easy to see across the market. Yep. Crypto Cowboy, I appreciate you. I'll get to your super chat here. Real Jack, I'll be asleep before this ends, but thoughts on CC, momentum play are really a hedge for you. God bless ZR. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that. It's a hedge. I'm worried that it's a hype play. I'm worried that it's just hype. But at the same time, sometimes you got to ride the motion, right? That's what it is for Canton with me. They just announced that they're going to be bringing USDC to Canton. The London Stock Exchange just announced that they're rolling out 24/7 settlement. They've rolled out their own network, but then they've also got tokenized deposits on Canton. Okay? And so let me pull up my profile real quick here on X because I shared the tweet on it. I said, this is why I hedged my XRP bet with a bag of CC. Becoming the place for institutional settlement. Excited for this new partnership. That's the London Stock Exchange. Look at the tweet that I shared after that. It's this chart right here. Very clear cup and handle, while most people still haven't even heard of Canton Network. Here's the chart. Let me zoom in. Is Canton going to $100? No, I don't even consider that really. But I am looking at this sucker running. I am looking at Canton flying. Very clear cup and handle. Most people don't even know about it still. And the reason why I called it a hedge, because to me it's the same thing as shorting Bitcoin while I have a huge bag of XRP. Huge bag of XRP is an expression of going long XRP, even though it's not a futures trade. On the flip side, let me pick up a bag of Canton. Let me pick up a bag of XLM. Let me pick up a bag of HBAR. Right? Those are all hedges because they're competing in the same arena. Now, they're not necessarily going directly at the same addressable markets, but there is some overlap, which is why I say it's a hedge. Canton's my biggest holding outside of my XRP spot bag and my XRP long. And if you guys are looking for a place to buy Canton, I bought it on Caleb and Brown, which is linked up down in the description below. Okay. I bought Canton on Caleb and Brown, and I bought Zebek on Caleb and Brown. I'm back in Zebek again. I'm telling you guys right now, when I look at these plays, I see 100% upside with ease. Not here to give you financial advice. 100% upside just by existing in this market. Zebek going back up to half a penny, maybe even a penny. I'll let these guys. This guy puts $100 on the Canton chart. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to me. People in the Zebeki community. Shout out to the Zebeki community. They're talking about Zebek going to dollars. Irrelevant to me. Sucker goes to a penny, we have ourselves a party. Canton Network, right? Let's take a look. 13 cents. And I have the upside measured. If the sucker goes to 40 cents, you've doubled up your money. If it goes to my target of 50 cents, 200%. And now the opportunity is even better because it's come back down. If it goes to 30 cents, that's my low target, 121%. Upside targets 43 cents to 50 cents, 267%. You don't get that in the stock market in 6 to 12 months, right? And I think that for me, as I've said this, let me repeat, we got to leave behind this mentality in crypto of if I don't hit a 5x or a 10x, I'm a failure. If I don't hit a 5x or a 10x, it's not worth my time. For me, I'd rather move in with size, capture 100 or 200%, take the money and run, than try to diversify my portfolio, making 20 different bets and hoping that one of them does a 100x. Those days are over, pretty much. Those days are over. Now, are the returns comparable to the stock market? No, they're still better. They're still a lot better. I'm looking right here at Canton going 120 to 260%. A lot of people in crypto would say that's not exciting. I'm thrilled about that. Ecstatic. Why? Because I'm not throwing $50. It's all relative. Some people only have $50 to invest. Invest what you can. I was there with you. I was talking about this with my wife the other day about how I still act like I have nothing. I really do. My wife wants to buy. I say no. Well, that's part of the art of the deal. I start negotiations at no with my wife, and then we can work back from there. All the time I tell my wife no. No, we don't need that. She says, well, we need this for the kids or this or that. She has a good reason. I say, okay, sure. Okay, yeah, maybe. But I still then complain about the price. Even though, and by no means am I rich. I don't have anything. I was telling my wife this the other day too, that I feel like I've accomplished nothing relative to where I see us going. And so whether you have $50 to invest or 500,000, right? You need to understand that positioning and you need to move accordingly. See, I think that too many people are trying to diversify when they don't have enough to diversify with. If you have $1,000 and you split it across 10 different plays, you're pissing in the wind. You're pissing in the wind. Excuse my French. If you want to make it in this space, one, your first problem is only having $1,000 to invest, which nobody wants to hear. That your problem is you got to figure out how to make more money, right? And this is why I show up every single day, even no matter what, right? I come out of my heart surgery last month and I'm shilling XRP to my nurse and I'm checking Twitter, I'm checking the markets, right back to it, right? Saturdays, Sundays, my wife complains to me that, I work too much. And God bless her. I couldn't do it without her. God bless her. She's amazing. Holds it down. And it is a problem of mine. I do work too much, but I know what's at stake. And I know this opportunity never comes again. And I know what it's like to run the account negative. I know what it's like to go out with my friends and know in the back of my mind that I only have $40 to spend tonight. And I have no business being out tonight. I've been there. I've been there way too many times. And I keep that mentality, and even now, I stay hungry. Not just because I fast for the first half of the day, only drinking coffee, but because I know what's at stake here. This opportunity never comes again in my lifetime. We got to squeeze it. Let's get back into it. Super chats coming in. Thank you guys for your support. Crypto Cowboy, thank you for always shooting it straight. The Zach attack is always appreciated. I appreciate you, my friend. Legend, what do you think about the ticker XRPM? 3% possible? What's XRPM? You're a savage, Zach. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, I was born with a bad heart valve. And I was gonna say too that I did get a light jog in today. We got both of our kids bikes with training wheels for Christmas, and the nice part is now they're cruising fast enough where I have to get a light jog in to keep up with them. So I've been getting my workouts back in since the new year. I've been trying to get my workouts back in, trying to keep the dad bod in check. And then now, I took the kids to the park earlier today. That was a lot of fun. Getting outside. I tell you what, I get into such a better mood by getting outside and getting in the sun. I am not meant to be in the office at all, even though I spend so much time here. But anyways, I got outside to the park with the kids, and then I did take the kids on a bike ride as well too. And they get going fast enough now where I have to hit a light jog, which is very good for me. I need to be hitting a light jog at the bare minimum. But yeah. I've had 3 heart surgeries. I had open heart surgery where they opened me up completely when I was 5. Valve replacement, catheter procedure when I was 21, 10 years ago. And then last month in December 3rd, I had another bull valve shoved in me. So now I have 2 bull valves in me. None of us are meant to be in the office all day. Hammer, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Yeah, I will never message you on TikTok, X, any other platform. I don't even use Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. The only place you can reach me at is through my website, or if you're on our Patreon and Discord community. So yeah, that wasn't me. If you're on TikTok, follow me here. YouTube, subscribe. X, subscribe. But just know that I'll never DM you. I think I've turned off DMs on TikTok. So you shouldn't even be able to DM me on TikTok. But just watch out for the scammers. Legend, what's the ticker XRPM? What is that? Is that XRP Market? Oh, you're talking about the Amplify XRP 3% monthly premium. Okay. Legend, that's a good one. Okay. Year to date, I'm looking at it right now. It's at $23 per share right now. Let me follow, because we covered this when it came out, and this was fascinating. The objective is to give you 3% monthly income on your holdings here. XRPM Legend, I'm going to look that one up for you, brother, and I'll let you know what I think of it. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'll take a look. You're a big dude. Hit the weights, you'll be a monster. Yeah, it's crazy. I literally struggled to break 200 pounds back in the day, and now I can hold 225 with ease. I'm like, oh boy. Yeah, yeah. And then I started to get over 225 and I said, okay, whoa, hold up. We can't be doing it. And so, yeah, I've been hitting it, trying to keep it in check, and all is well. All is great. I had to take a little bit of a break after my heart surgery, but now we're back at it. Now we're getting it. Now we're juicing. Metaphorically speaking, that's not... You guys know. Best ROI? I mean, right now, I'll just pull up my holdings right now. Here's my red folder. What a beautiful red folder. I saw Trump had the red folder back out the other day. Gotta love the red folder. This is a legendary right here. So many great documents. This is the appeal. SEC versus Ripple. George Tenriro signing off on the appeal. Gary Gensler giving him the directive. Here's the original proposed terms for the purchase of XRP tokens from participating token holders. This is the original buyback insurance policy. Val Hill Capital. Sent to the Treasury and all of the Federal Reserve banks in this country. God bless our good friend Jimmy Valley. Holdings. XRP, spot, XRP long, Canton. I went in heavy on Canton, I'm telling you right now. I just wanted to have my bets hedged. You know, if Canton's going to get a piece of the pie, let's capture that. Right next to that would be Zebeki. Yeah, I moved in heavy on Zebeki. And then HBAR. And then Axelar. And then XDC. I got some SHX. And then other than that, I got XRP meme coins. Small bag of Bitcoin Cash. Oh, there's a fake Zach in the chat. Let me get rid of him. Block. Man, TikTok has just been ridiculous lately. Like, I go to check my TikTok notifications. Like, pretty much every hour, I go check my YouTube comments to see how our videos are doing and to see... I check YouTube, X, and then TikTok. I can't even check my TikTok comments, though. It's just full of scammers. Literally, I have 100+ notifications, all scammers. And then like 2 people commented for real. TikTok's been incredibly frustrating lately. "1970 says, I told you to get back in Zebeki a few months ago. Legend, I listened, brother. I listened. I appreciate it. You bet I got back in Zebeki. Shannon, the folder, it's been a while. It deserves a moment. Boy, does it deserve a moment. And boy, do we deserve a moment up in Vancouver, don't we, Shannon? It's going to be so much fun. Our Canadian brothers and sisters. If you haven't got tapped in with the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference and you're in Canada or close by, you got to get there. Okay, it's going to be a party this time. The gold and silver bugs have had their day, and we're excited because last year, I mean, Shannon knows last year we were up there, XRP was pumping, and we were having ourselves a hell of a time. And the rest of the precious metal space was still lagging, but now they've caught up. And I just interviewed the president of VRIC Media and the host of the conference, Jay Martin. If you guys missed that one, I would go check out that interview for sure. If you go to my channel, I have a playlist titled Interviews, and all of my interviews are over there. Go listen to that one because, Jay dropped some real wisdom. He's somebody who isn't just in precious metals and commodities, but he's actually in crypto as well too. And I did suggest to Jay that, hey, don't only let the Bitcoin bros up there, let's get some representation from some others. And we really connected, and I'm really looking forward to it. This year, I'm going to be getting a booth up in Vancouver, and we're going to be reporting live. So watch out. I'll be putting out an announcement tomorrow, but we're going to be interviewing Robert Kiyosaki. We're going to be interviewing Andy Schectman, some of your favorites. We're going to be interviewing them live at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, and that's next weekend, the 25th and 26th. But the conference is free. So if you're in Canada or nearby, get up there, get to the conference. It's absolutely free to attend, and a wealth of knowledge and wisdom is shared up there. Zach, you own ZBCN and sold, yes. Yeah, so on Zebek, I made 427%. So I took profits right at half a penny. So now I'm back in while it was at a quarter of a penny, I think. I forget what my average price is, but I played Zebek really well. Didn't play it perfectly. I could have sold off higher, but 400%, nothing to complain about. So, Zach, what is your biggest financial goal? Biggest financial goal is, I'll have to think on that. I'm not going to throw something out offhand here right now, but I was thinking about this earlier today, and I wanted to ask you guys in the chat what your top 3 priorities are for 2026. For me, I've been thinking about this a lot because I need to do better. I need to do better. My top priorities are, number 1, supporting my wife and family, right? We got baby number 3 on the way. My wife is 8 months pregnant. In the first 2 pregnancies, I was so busy and consumed by my work that I kind of dropped the ball on being there to support. One of my focuses for this year, 2026, is supporting her through this pregnancy. I've already been focused on that through the end of 2025, but into 2026, we got about a month and a half to go before baby boy number 2 is on the way. And so supporting her and my family through this year, that is priority number 1. Priority number 2 is my own health. I've been putting that on the back burner. I've been focusing on stacking paper more so than taking care of my health. So health is number 2, right? And then number 3 is finalizing the educational platform that I have. And what I mean by that is I do an incredible job of reporting the news on a daily basis, going live twice a week, doing my weekly call every Saturday. And I've put out a bunch of trading lessons, tactical wealth lessons. I drop value all the time. But putting that and compiling it all together to really be able to share educational content in the most efficient way, that's goal and priority number 3. It's not a goal, because goals should be, you should be able to track a goal. So these are priorities. So the 3 priorities for me are, number 1, supporting my wife and my family through this next year. You only get to go through these moments once. So it's a matter of supporting my wife, but also soaking in, bringing home that little bit. You guys will get to see baby little boy. We'll show baby boy here. For those of you guys that have been watching me for 5 years, you know that I do let my kids make an appearance only when they're babies and you can't even really see them, but I can just hold them right here. And I can do a live show while still holding the baby and helping out my wife take a break. Priority number 2 is my health. And so my wife does a tremendous job of making sure that we're eating properly, eating healthy. And then just getting my workouts in, staying active. And then priority number 3 is the educational platform. Those are my 3 priorities. But I want to hear from you guys. What are your top 3 priorities for 2026? Okay. Yep. 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 And guys, the other thing I wanted to say, I interviewed Alan Staple from the Staple Crew today. That interview will be dropping tomorrow. Make sure you guys check that one out. But I said this with him, and I wanted to repeat it here. It is time for the XRP family to come back together, right? You know, we've seen a couple issues that have divided the community. I'll share one example, right, would be Link 2. Link 2 has been an issue that we've had to go through, right? Some people have said, I don't like what John Deaton's doing. I like what John Deaton's doing. There's been drama back and forth. There's been other issues as well, too. And I want to see the XRP family come back together and to be reminded how strong we can be when we do come together as a community, right? And how powerful that can be for spreading our message and for bringing even more people in, right? When we were having the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, when I was going through the red folder on a regular basis, right? We had a common enemy. We weren't fighting each other, right? We were going after the SEC. We were calling out the SEC. And that was a big bad guy that we ended up taking down. And in large part because of the XRP community and us applying pressure the way we did. And we grew stronger, we grew bigger because of that. That's what we need to get back to. And do we have a common enemy? No. Right? We're up against the banks right now, kind of holding up and stalling out Clarity Act. Sure. I think that we need to find a common objective, though, and a common message, right? The objective, I guess, should be to grow the community, but the message should be utility. The message should be the fundamentals, not hopium, not narratives, fundamentals, utility. That's how we get people in and we get them to stay. We don't want to pitch people XRP's going to $1,000 so they come on in and get disappointed and then leave. We want to pitch them on join us in creating the internet of value. This is a neutral bridge currency that provides a real solution to our problem, which is nobody trusts each other. In a world that lacks trust, you can have it using the XRP ledger. Okay? And I think that I want to end on that happy note, bringing our community back together. We're not the XRP army. I mean, some people still want us to be the XRP army, and I get it. You know, it's nice to always have your defensive measures ready to go. I want us to be the XRP family, and I want us to be bringing more people in. Okay? And we do that by spreading a message of positivity, utility, liquidity, and fundamentals, not by fighting each other, right? Not by selling hopium and narratives, but by explaining what we can actually accomplish with this technology. And we get people that come in not because they're here to get rich quick, because they want to better the world. And a byproduct of that is you might get significant ROI on these investments as well too. Okay? Zach, do you have any desire to run for political office? I have to make a lot of money before I can do that. I need to build up the war chest before we do that. But yeah, I mean, I would be happy to do so. I've thought about it a lot. I know what comes with that. I've prepared myself for that. The only thing that's stopping me for running for political office is I just want a war chest. and I want to be insulated enough that, you know, basically you want to get to a spot where you can't be canceled, which I already feel like I'm kind of in that spot, you know. But, you know, yeah, I just need to build a little bit more wealth, and we're going to put in a little bit more groundwork. And when the time is right, we will strike. We will strike on that. I do plan on running at some point, I'm sure, whether it be locally or we'll see what happens. But I also recognize that you can have just as much or even more impact outside of public office if you have a war chest, if you have influence. And so for me, it's a matter of building that up, and then we'll determine later down the road if it is time. But the tough part, I'm conflicted, is because I don't want to run for political office till I'm done raising my children. I don't want to sacrifice raising my children for that. But I'm conflicted because I worry, what kind of country are we going to have between now and the next 18 to 20 years? So that's where I'm conflicted on that. The other thing that I worry about is I'm too honest. So I don't know how well I would do as a politician. You know. No, I don't think that silver has topped. The surge in copper. Copper is still going to run a lot too. And it was one of my big takeaways from the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference last year was pay attention to copper and the companies that are getting that, you know, met out of the ground. And a lot of them have done well. Copper has done well. And so I'm going to be following up with some of the companies that I was looking at last year. I'll hopefully be interviewing some of their, you know, CEOs and people that are representing those companies. And so at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, not this weekend, but next weekend, Sunday the 25th and Monday the 26th, Chris from Fruition Films is coming up with me to Vancouver. So I'm going to have a professional film crew with me. And we're going to be interviewing Robert Kiyosaki, Andy Schachman, the CEOs of these companies right there in my booth. And we'll be reporting live. We'll be recording all of it. And we're going to find some opportunities up there. Really looking forward to it. Okay? All right. With that being said, I want to let everybody know that all of our community resources are available at zachrector.com. If you're looking to get into my private community, we would love to have you in the family over there. You sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. We also have our exchanges, our wallets, the XRP family merch. I did just get sent over some mock-ups of some new stuff that we're working on right now. So stay tuned for that. But I appreciate all of your support, and if you guys appreciate what we're doing, please help us out by liking this video on the way out. And tomorrow morning, we'll be dropping the interview with Alan Staple from the Staple Crew. Come on back for that. And then we'll have our Discord weekly call on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So if you want to get connected there, Patreon to get into Discord, we'd love to have you. Okay? Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, and God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow.